It's your boy D from DNC Digital back with Mission Pro Wrestling Tournament out of Hell, November 6th. Going down in just a little over a week, and I'm excited about it. They are going to start their tournament to crown the first Mission Pro Wrestling champion. And tonight's guest is Allie Gato. Allie Gato is going to be going on to compete with La Rosa Negra to see who moves on into the second round. So that's the first round matchup that we're going to be excited to see. We're going to be talking to her for a little bit and just see where she's at, see what's up with her, and talk about her career along with things that we should be expecting at the event. Let me get her here. There you go. At Pinball's Kingdom, November 6th, streaming on the Title Match Network in Buda, Texas, November 6th. I think I said that already. I probably did. But, hey, Ryan Romano, what's going on, buddy? Always a pleasure to have you here. Allie, excuse me, is coming in right now. So let's talk to her. Anybody have any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask. Hey, Ms. Gato, how you doing today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for giving us the time here to talk about what's going to be happening and your career. How's everything so far with you?
So far, it's good. Right now, here in Denver, it is snowing. It's like a winter storm right now. Yeah,
I saw the Broncos game earlier, and I saw that it was snowing.
and then we're sucking and lost again. So there's that.
My sister lives in Boulder.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful out there. But now
She told me to ask you if you've ever had the experience of going to Casa Bonita.
Oh my goodness, plenty of times.
Can you tell our lovely viewers what Casa Bonita is like?
Casa Bonita is, well, if you ever seen South Park, then you have a great idea of what it is. So it's a lot of fun. There's cliff divers. There's this huge guy that dresses up as a big gorilla. He chases you around. It's the absolute worst Mexican food.
I've gotten the same exact answer from everybody.
Food ever, but you just have to go for the experience. So if you ever come to Colorado, like that's definitely where you have to go. You have to go to Casa Bonita. So,
now let me ask you this:
we actually had my daughter's 3rd birthday there. She loves it. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this: is the restaurant in on the joke as far as the food goes? Do they know that the food sucks?
They have to know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they know. They have to.
So it's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese. Like, we know our pizza sucks, but everybody's going to come anyway.
Yep, absolutely. We don't care about
no effort in their food.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So, Ms. Gato, you are not the only lovely lady coming in from Colorado. We got Heidi Howitzer, Genocide, Rochelle, just to name a few. Is there something to be said about women in wrestling coming out of Colorado?
Yeah, so we're hungry. I mean, so for a long time, I've been doing this I started training 5 years ago. And it was just me for a very long time. There were no women wrestlers. Like even before me, there was maybe like 2. And so I was only like me and another girl, and we wrestled each other so many times for like a year. And then I was so excited when more women started joining and actually like staying. So there were so many women that would join and they would only stick it out, or it just wasn't for them. So they would only stick it out for like a couple weeks and train, but they would never actually like got onto shows and actually started wrestling. So I'm just so excited and proud that there's so many great women wrestlers. I think right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 7 to 9 women wrestlers in Colorado. So it's pretty exciting.
When you talk about training, excuse me, I know that in the beginning of training, you found out that you were pregnant with your daughter, and to the point that even when she was 6 months old, you found your way back to the training just to watch, just to get some visual lessons. There's something very admirable about that. Can you talk about your decision to go back and what drove you and to just learn, even if not in the ring?
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't know if I would. I don't even think I really knew what pro wrestling was. Like, I was never a fan growing up. And so, yeah, I joined the school. I did my tryout and I trained for a week. And then, yes, like, I found out I was pregnant. So my boyfriend at the time, my daughter's dad, he's the one that got me into it. And so he joined. We joined at the same time. And he, like, made his debut and he started wrestling. And so I would go to every single show and I would watch while I was pregnant. And then even when my daughter was a baby. And then I didn't think it was a passion of mine. I didn't really know, like, is this what I want to, like, go and do? And then, yeah, my daughter was 6 months old and I would go to training sometimes and her and we would just watch. And then the owner of Rocky Mountain Pro, which is where I come from, like, my training school and the promotion. And he just kind of was like, Allie, please come. Like, we really need women. He kind of peer pressured me. And I was like, you know what, what's the worst that could happen? Like, I'm probably going to have, like, tons of fun. And, like, while I was pregnant, that's when I actually would watch wrestling, like, for the first time. And I was like, well, I, like, really, really got into it. But it just wasn't something that I thought I could ever, like, really do. Like, even when I joined or did the training and trained for 1 week, I had no idea. I was like, I don't know what this is. I think I just did it just because my boyfriend was doing it.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm so happy that I made that decision, and everything kind of felt natural to me when I got in the ring, and I just let out a lot of frustration, and I was like, wow, this is fun. And it was a different side of me that I never actually, like, knew. I didn't know that was in me. And yeah, so I'd say I'm, like, pretty aggressive. And yeah, it's just, yeah, that
Now,
was
now, I know
years
the
ago.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I saw a really cute picture of your daughter dressed as Sasha Banks for Halloween. And
Oh
so
my
has
God.
she taken her first bump yet? What's she like with the pro wrestling industry?
Yeah, so Sasha Banks was her favorite wrestler for a long time. She could care less about wrestling now. She doesn't
Hmm.
like to watch me. She's like, I think it's scary to her because she's like, what is my mom doing? Or, like, why is she acting like a crazy woman? She loves her dad. She loves to watch her dad wrestle. But yeah, she's always like, Mom, when I grow up, my dad's gonna teach me how to wrestle and I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Mommy
That's
doesn't have to
fine.
teach you then.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no hurt feelings there. But
Yeah.
I did read in an interview that that one of your favorite things about wrestling was your daughter being there to watch you wrestle. So
Yeah, that was a
where was
while
the
ago.
little
She
point
would
where
come to all the, like, yeah, so she would come to all the shows and she would be in the crowd watching us. And that's when she was younger. And that's
okay.
when, like, yeah, now that she's 5, she just, she don't care about it. She don't come to any of the shows. Just doesn't interest her anymore. But yeah, I used to when she was little.
So yesterday in Bound for Glory, Sue Young was a surprise competitor for the women's championship, and she ended up winning. And I know that you've worked with her. Can you tell me an experience, anything that sticks out about working with Sue Young?
A lot of people say that was one of my best matches, was that match that I had with Sue Young at Respect here in Denver, like almost 2 years ago. Oh my goodness. It was just amazing. It was easy. I got my ass kicked by her. She's insane. But yeah, she definitely pushed me to my limits that match. Um, yeah, the most thing that sticks out was she killed me with the ladder. She just killed me. Like, I never had, like, a hardcore match like that. And I had a lot of fun. Yeah, so I love her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Another type of hardcore match that you had was a steel cage match, which is not common when it comes to females in professional wrestling, let alone an indie show. What was your mindset when you were putting that match together with your opponent?
What are we doing? Is this our life? Like, we're really doing this right now? I didn't think it was going to happen because the man that did, like, the cages, that got the cages and everything and the fencing and all that, it didn't fit through the door of the venue. So, like, how are we even gonna get this in here? Like, yeah, it was bad. So we were stressing out. We're like, we can't even do this match. But we made it work, and my thought process was, wow, I've never done anything like this. And just how can finding ways on how to utilize the still cage. And it was, I don't really remember too much of that match, honestly. But yeah, I do remember thinking, like, what are we doing? This is insane. Like, I never would have thought that we would have been doing something like that. And the woman I was wrestling, her name is Amanda, and she was so brand new. And so I think she was so terrified, like, Allie, oh my goodness, why am I doing this? And yeah, good
Brand
times.
new, like less than a year, brand new?
What was that?
Brand new, like less than a year, brand new?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she,
Wow,
yeah,
in
she
a
was the
cage already.
wrestler.
Just
Yeah,
go
she
ahead
doesn't
and throw them
wrestle
out
on
there and see what
the
happens.
she doesn't wrestle anymore. She had some injuries and she just hasn't been back. But I know all of us were like, come back, like we need you. We need women wrestlers in Colorado. But yeah, she's doing good though. She comes in some good
Um,
sets.
you know, you mentioned not being such a big fan when you were younger. So when you did start to train and you started, you know, looking up matches, looking up older wrestlers, who was it that stuck out to you?
Beth Phoenix, she definitely stuck out
Oh,
to me.
okay.
Yeah, I absolutely loved watching her. And then I'm a huge Mickie James fan. So
And I
she,
know, if I can, a little fun fact, I've read that Mickie James is the reason you are Allie Gato. Is that correct?
yes. Okay, so I was wrestling by the name Alley Cat, and I didn't even know that there was another Alley Cat in Texas. Um, and I think I wrestled under that name like one match, like brand new. And then yeah, we had a seminar, and her and Nick Aldis came out, and we were just like going over names, and I was like, I don't really know if this is a character I want. Like, I don't know nothing about me. I was just knew I wanted to wrestle. I was having fun. I didn't really know like too much character stuff. And I was like, well, I go by Alley Cat. And she's like, no, I don't really like that. And then another person was like, just go by Gato. And then she's like, yes, you go by that. And so it just kind of stuck. So yeah, that's true.
And because she's Mickie James, you're like, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
From now on, I am Allie Gato.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with her. So yeah. So
Also Beth Phoenix. So any matches that stuck out to you? Anything memorable about her?
just how powerful and strong she was, and she's just a trailblazer. Yeah, that's pretty much what stuck out to me is she was different. She didn't look like the rest of the women. Like she didn't look like a model and her body figure. I just
It was
really liked how
definitely the
strong
model
she was.
era when she came out. It
What
was
was that?
definitely the model era when she came out. Like there were a lot of
Exactly.
very attractive, athletic women, but not many that were based in wrestling as much as she was.
Exactly. And then also the thing about Mickie James was she is so athletic. She's a great worker, and she looks like a model. She's gorgeous, and yeah, I love her.
And
And then
even
I
even
fell in love with her even more when she came out here.
yeah,
Just
even coming back from like WrestleMania 22, where she won the title in it was Detroit. She still got it. Like I've seen her in recent matches, and the woman still has it.
oh yeah, and she's a mother, which is even more awesome. Yeah.
There's one thing I did want to bring up. I'm a father to an 11-year-old girl, and I have no idea what motherhood is. But even less, I would even have less knowledge of what motherhood is like in the pandemic. So, what's it been like for you guys this past year?
It's been insane. So I'm so glad I have so much family support, and I'm glad that she has a great dad. And I've been very blessed because my day job, I'm an essential worker. So I didn't lose my job. But that also means that I have to drop off my daughter to her grandparents or to her auntie. Her auntie watches her for us. And so there's that. And then now she's doing virtual school, like she's not going to school. So it's been an adjustment for us all. Well, not so much for me because I have my job, but losing wrestling for those months, man, it was tough. You really miss it, and you just really want to be back in that ring, and you miss the feeling, you miss the fans. Even now, like we started wrestling, and it's just like not as many people, and it's a little bit different. I'm just so glad to be back in the ring though, and having fun and doing like what I love. But yeah, it's just this past year has just been so crazy. So
I think it has been for all of us. What do you think? You know, generally speaking, as a professional wrestler, what do you think there's going to be some type of emotional release, something that you haven't had, or maybe something that you've needed all year when you finally do that sold out show? You got the people there for you. How important is the audience to a professional wrestler?
it's so important. I don't even think the fans know that. Back in July when we first started running, we did a show and we just taped it with no live audience, no audience at all, and it wasn't as fun. It's just so different. You miss just the vibe. You just miss just hearing the crowd, just feeling the crowd. Like that's what, as a professional wrestler, like that's means everything to us. Just for people to get behind us, for people to cheer us, boo us, it's just so important. Like we need those reactions, and it just fires us up so much more. So it was just so tough doing those live tapings and no audience. It was different, and I was just like, wow, like this is insane. So but
Uh,
yeah, when I first did my show back with like a live audience, like we didn't have, we weren't at capacity, obviously, but it felt good just to hear them cheer for us and just for them to be there. And I know it's good for them too to finally get out and do something. And I know they missed wrestling, seeing it live. So yeah, it's huge.
a conversation I had with somebody else is it's kind of hard to describe. Do you feel that maybe when pro wrestling comes back with a full crowd, that wrestlers' bodies have forgotten what that feels like in stimulating terms? Like, holy crap, they're really loud and I forgot they were that loud, or my feet feel weird because of the vibration from the cheer. Like, do you feel it will kind of mess with somebody's equilibrium maybe? Like, as far as the feelings of that you get from the crowd, the physical feelings that you get from the crowd.
I think so. I think that's possible. I think just to sit there and just take it all in. But yeah, I'm sure it could definitely mess with people. With me, I feel like, I don't know, I think I'd just be so pumped too and just so much adrenaline. But yeah, just taking it in, that's like my favorite moment is when you go out there and you just look around and you just make eye contact with people and just take it in. It's a good feeling.
That's really cool. So here's a really cool fact that I learned about you. You retweeted something, so I'm guessing you're definitely validating it. How big of a fan of Law and Order are you?
Oh my God. I love Law and Order.
Because
I
we are
do.
on season 21 on Hulu. We're trying to catch up to like the newest ones. We saw the the NBC promo with Benson, and I'm like, they are just
Yes.
too fucking good. They're just
Oh
too
my God.
good.
So good, and I'm so glad. Like I love Elliot, so I'm just like so glad and happy to hear that. Isn't he coming back, or they're like making
He's
it?
getting his own spin-off show, but I
Yes,
think they're
I'm
gonna
so
acknowledge him on SVU.
I'm so pumped. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm not as active as Twitter. Like I'm more active, I think, on Instagram.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even know what I retweeted or anything. But yes, thanks for bringing
It,
that up
it was
because
like, can
I
we all
love Law and
just
Order
say
and
that we
Law.
all have a crush on Elliot Stabler, and then you retweeted that. No, but my boy was Carisi. I loved Carisi
Oh my goodness, yes.
because I'm originally from New Jersey, and my girlfriend says that I'm the most like him. Like I like to dress in old school suits, and
Yes.
I when I want to I can throw the accent out there. But what messed me up was the couple of episodes where, oh man, there was a baby where the baby was a vegetable and just would have needed around the clock care, and then the mother kind of wanted to pull the plug, and then Barbara, the DA, did it for her. Then he got in trouble. He ended up leaving the show, and we were just like shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's Barbara going?" And I'm like, "My boy Barbara." I loved
Yeah.
Barbara because he was such an ass.
That's how I felt
He
about
would
Mud
challenge Stabler and
too.
Benson to definitely like bring the case, like, and he was such an asshole. I love that guy. Love
Oh
that show.
God, I love that. I love that. That's how I felt when Munch, would he retire? Oh my
Munch,
gosh.
I loved
Munch,
Munch.
I love him.
I remember there was one episode. This whole interview is going to be about Law and Order,
Oh,
but
really?
there was that one episode where I think Chief Dobbs was like calling Benson, or no, it was Captain. Captain was another guy I loved, Captain Cragen.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Captain called Benson into his office, and then Benson said something like, "Do you think he's still holding a grudge over something?" And then everybody was like, "No, no." And Munch is like, "No, he's definitely holding a grudge over something, right?" He
Oh
was-
my gosh. When I get home, I'm so gonna go watch an episode. I love
yeah,
it.
I miss the old crew with Stabler and Munch and Captain Cragen. I miss Captain Cragen a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'll think of random episodes and I'll Google it. Like, what is this episode of Law and Order? Like, I forgot what season or what episode, and then I'll rewatch it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I have to give you now a Law and Order themed gift whenever I see you at Tournament of Hell. Speaking of the event, Mission Pro Wrestling, every position in this company is held by a woman. After, geez, I don't know how to word it. After the amount of women that had to go through such crazy shit earlier in the year, well, not earlier in the year, mostly throughout their careers that they finally spoke out about earlier this year, these really terrible stories about these idiotic men. Can you tell me how strong the sisterhood is in professional wrestling, and what you think Mission Pro Wrestling can do for the future of women in pro wrestling?
It's so strong now. I think, and I'm guilty of it too, but I think it maybe used to be a little bit catty, and obviously, like, it's a competition. I feel like
Well,
some
yeah, it's a
women,
very competitive industry, yeah.
yeah, and I feel like some women aren't as like supportive. I think I'm so thankful and glad that I don't have to deal with that. Like, all of us, like, we're tight knit. We've always been real supportive with each other, and then especially now, like here in Denver, Colorado, because we have our first all women's promotion, and I'm very blessed that I don't have to deal with that, or I don't know. I just feel like women are uplifting women and we're just empowering each other. And so I think that that's so awesome what Mission Pro Wrestling is, what they stand for, and what they're doing. Just all women, just nothing but women. And I think that's so powerful that all of us women could come together in pro wrestling and we could always have each other's backs and stand up for each other. And I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm a women's woman. I love to boost other women and make them feel good. And yeah, I will always have their back. And so I think it's just so awesome.
Another woman who has everybody's back. Is that your daughter, by the way? Because I'm reading
Yes.
that.
Hi, Sienna. I love
Is that her Instagram?
No, that's her grandma. That's
Her grandma has an Instagram?
Yes, it's her dad's mom, Jamie.
Grandma's cool.
Hi, Sienna.
What's grandma doing with an Instagram? She's so cool.
Oh yeah, she's a young grandma. She's a cool grandma.
Hey, hi, Sienna. Very nice to meet you. I'm speaking to your lovely mom here. And tell your grandma that she's one of the coolest ladies ever having an Instagram. One woman that definitely has everybody's back is Thunder Rosa.
Oh, yeah.
She, for those that don't know her, she's this insane woman who never stops and she's like a machine. And I don't know what other good things I can say about her. She's definitely an inspiring woman, not just to women, but also to, me as well, as far as work ethic. I know you've had a couple matches, I know you had one match with her at least.
Yes.
Can you tell me your thoughts about Thunder Rosa?
She is so outspoken. She's not afraid of anyone. So she's just very confident, and I love that. I absolutely love that. She kicked my ass. It was back in February, and it was the last match I had in front of a crowd before COVID happened. And
wow, okay, so this is full circle. Yeah.
And yeah. And I was pushed to my limits with that one. She is a fighter, and she brought it out for me. Like, it was insane. We had so much fun. I was so nervous that day. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to work her, because she's just one of the best. Yeah, and I know it was just going to be so tough. But yeah, I'm just so happy that what they have done and what she's doing. But yeah, she's a woman's woman, and she will stand up for any woman, any man. Like, she doesn't let shit slide or anything. So I love people like that.
Yeah,
Big executive.
working with her the past few months. I also sponsored their relaunch show, which was Hell Hath No Fury, and
Mm-hmm.
just to be in constant contact with her is crazy for me.
Yeah.
I asked her for the small little favor about the show. She's like, D, I got you. And I was like, oh, man, Thunder Rosa got me? Like, it's all good. Like,
Yeah, she's down to
she's
earth.
such a
Yeah.
badass, and my girlfriend admires her, and it's just, she's so cool all around. I do want to talk about you were part of the first Women of Honor seminar, is that correct? And you
Yes.
had such a good experience there. So I'd like to know, because you said this in past interviews, I'd like to know what is it about that company that you would find yourself working for over WWE? Because you've said that you wouldn't really see yourself in WWE, more in Ring of Honor, and why is that?
Just because I think WWE is just, I have my daughter and I just couldn't leave her. I mean, they're gone. They're on the road so many days out of the year. And Ring of Honor, I have a really good friend, Sam Udell, that is from Colorado. He trained with us, he wrestled with us, and he's helped me a lot in my wrestling career. And he's out there, he's in Ring of Honor now, and I'm so proud of him and happy for him. And they just love it. I think it's just really family oriented. It's like AEW, I feel like. And so yeah, I just see myself being there more than WWE, and yeah, I just feel like it's a more realistic goal for me to reach. I feel like I'm
Hmm.
more yeah, just I think the schedule for WWE, and I just know it's just not a realistic goal for me. I'm just being
Not your kind of
honest and
thing.
real. Yeah.
For those that don't know,
AEW and Ring of Honor more my
for those
fit.
that don't know, you did work for WWE on two occasions, I think. You were one of Adam Rose's Rosebuds, and you actually got to have a dark match with Natalya. Can you tell me how differing those two situations and experiences were?
Oh my gosh, it was a lifetime, like an opportunity of a lifetime. Let's just say that. And so I have a funny story. So I was a Rosebud when I was pregnant. It was like
Awesome.
the day before. Yeah, so I had just joined the school. They were coming to Colorado and they needed extras. And that's when I told him, he was like, you know what? I never even told him I was pregnant. I was just like, I can't wrestle. Like, I just can't wrestle. And he was like, okay, like, is it for you? And I was like, yeah, something like that. And so the next day he called me, or that same day, he's like, Allie, we really need women extras. Like, WWE's coming. And I'm like, you're fine with me going to be an extra even though I'm not going to wrestle anymore? And he's like, yeah, like, they need Rosebuds. And I was like, well, what is that? Like, there's no physicality or anything. He's like, no, you're going to go out there and you're going to dance and you're going to dress stupid and you're going to have fun. And so we went, my boyfriend at the time, my daughter's dad, we went, and he was just passing out flyers. He went, I think his ACL was injured at the time, so he was sitting in the crowd. And I was like, I feel so bad because, like, he had just joined wrestling and he got hurt right away. And I'm not even wrestling. Like, I told them I'm not going to wrestle anymore. They didn't know that I was pregnant, but it was just so funny that I was a Rosebud and I was pregnant. And then let's see. Yeah, and so the next, when was it? So I started training in September 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I made my debut, and then I was so brand new. They came and they're like, Allie, like, we need extras. Like, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'll be a Rosebud again. And then yeah, so Monday was Raw, nothing. We just ate catering, had fun. The next day, Tuesday, SmackDown. And then it was just me and the other girl. Her name was Angie. And it was just us two. And they're like, we need a woman. We need to have like a dark match. And I didn't know who it was with. And they're like, we just need a 5 like little quick dark match before SmackDown starts just to check the cameras. And they're like, oh, you're going to be wrestling Natalya. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was just playing it cool, but I was so nervous and terrified. That was like the scariest moment of my life, but also like, wow, this is really going to happen. So yeah, she was so cool. She was so down to earth, and it was like the easiest 5-minute match. I walk down the ramp, I get in the ring, and then I look over front row. There's nothing but Broncos players, and I was like, oh God, I'm even more nervous.
Wow.
And then yeah, and then Natty's music hit, and we had an awesome match. Yeah, it was a crazy. There's like, I don't know. We went back,
Are
and
you
she's
allowed
like,
to say? Are you allowed to say what kind of, maybe small conversations or responses you got when you got back?
yeah, she said everything went well. She talked to Hunter, Triple H, and he said it looked good. Like, it was exactly what it needed to be. She's like, I talked to some of the other girls, and they said, yeah, you guys had an awesome, like, a little quick, fun match. Like, it's not going to be, like, amazing, you know what I mean? It's just for the live crowd to get to see Natty. And, yeah, I was like, this is an opportunity that I will never, ever get in my life. And for me to have a match against a vet, an amazing woman that's been doing it for so long, Natty, like, it's insane. So yeah,
Congratulations. That sounds so cool.
thank
I
you.
think Braun Strowman was the Rosebud, and he's gone on to say that he got an opportunity and he took full advantage of it, even being a Rosebud, and now he's a multi-time champion and,
Oh my gosh.
doing his thing.
Yeah, and then Natty was so cool. She even followed me on Twitter, and she messaged me. It was like, Allie, you did great. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I still have the message. And I still checked actually the other day. I was like, I wonder if she still follows me. And then, yeah, she still follows me on Twitter. And then, yeah, and then the next year I was an extra again, and we said hi. And that's when Mickie James was there. She had came back, and she knows, like, the promoter and all of us. And she's like, hey, guys. Like, it was just so cool just to be around them. And then our friend Dozer, who came from our
Hey,
school,
yeah.
yeah, and he's there now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I love him. It's just awesome.
To be totally honest, when I saw him in NXT, I'm like, this is cool, this is fun. And then they did a stop-start type of debut with them on the main roster, as they say. But
Yeah.
as soon as he started, like, shaking his legs and doing his thing, and just the look on his face, and I'm like, you can't, like, not be entertained by that man.
He's like
And
Chris Farley, like, he's
yeah,
so
like
entertaining. Yeah.
my girlfriend has a crush on him, and I can't even be mad.
Oh my
I was
gosh,
like, you
yeah.
kidding me?
Don't blame her.
I got a crush on the guy. I
Yeah,
can't.
I love him. He's so awesome. He's just a great person to be around. Everyone wants to be around him. He's so entertaining. As soon as he got like the call up, we like knew like, oh my gosh, they're gonna love him. Like they love him, and it's just awesome just to see like, hey, that's my friend. I know him.
Miss Gato, where can they find you on social media?
Oh man, I always draw a blank. On Instagram, I'm _Allie Gato, ALLIEGATO, and on Twitter, what am I? I think I'm _Allie Gato still too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all the same.
I'm horrible
This
at
is your
that.
boy D. You can find me at DNC Digital on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you're following Allie, just click my name right here and follow me. If you're following me, make sure you click her name and follow her. She is going to be competing November 6th in Buda, Texas for Mission Pro Wrestling Tournament out of Hell. You are competing in a tournament to find out who is the first Mission Pro champion. So good luck with that.
Oh my gosh.
This will also be on YouTube, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. MissionProWrestling.net. For those that don't know, excuse me, I drew a blank.
No.
It will be enforced. All that healthy stuff will be enforced. Your temperatures will be checked at the door. Your masks are required. Social distancing, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That will be enforced.
Oh,
Everybody's 6 feet apart. I don't know how I forgot that phrase
I know,
because
right?
that phrase, yeah. And if you are uncomfortable going, and that is totally understood, it will be streaming on the Title Match Network. Remember, guys, November 6th, Mission Pro Wrestling. Every position in this company is held by a woman, and it's definitely on the way. It's going to be the next big thing, and I am honored to be a sponsor. That is Allie Gato. I am D. You guys have a great night and take care of yourselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.